Welcome, everybody, to today's installment of the Redzone Report. I am your host, Izzy, and this show is brought to you by PLB Sports and Entertainment, the makers of Josh's Jacks, the JA17 line of coffee, and the Diggs 14 line of hot sauces. Welcome to the show. Please enjoy yourself. Welcome, everybody, to the Redzone Report. I am your host, Izzy, and I am very elated to have a special guest today. He is the host of the Buffalo Blitz right here on the Built-in Buffalo Network on Tuesdays, 8 p.m., I believe it is. And he is Peter DiBiase. What's up, Pete?
What's up, Iz? How you doing tonight, my man?
Doing all right. Did I get that time right?
Yeah, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on everything Built in Buffalo, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You got it right.
Let's go. All right. So we're here to talk about the defense and how this is truly McDermott's defense. My man Kim is in the comments as always. Happy Palm Sunday to you, Izzy, and yours, Izzy, or to you and yours, Izzy. Thank you, Kim, as always. Welcome to the show, my man. So the Bills defense, it's going to look a little different this year, huh, Pete?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, not having Frazier for the year and most likely the future. Obviously, we don't know that situation. And then McDermott, and then obviously lose Tremaine Edmonds. So that obviously the personnel changes and the scheme. And it's interesting. I'm also excited for it because it's maybe the change is needed, and it's because it hasn't got done or hasn't got the job done in the playoffs like we've won. But yeah, it's definitely going to look a little different.
Yeah, I agree. When you look at Leslie Frazier and Sean McDermott, defensively speaking, Leslie Frazier has not coached the defense to the Super Bowl, and Sean McDermott has. A lot of people would argue that we've been running Sean McDermott's defense this whole time, but I'm 90% sure that Leslie Frazier has been calling the defensive plays, which means that you have Frazier calling McDermott's defensive scheme, maybe not fully comfortable in it, and that could be part of what the change was needed. This could have been a courtesy to Leslie Frazier where he needed a break, and then the Bills said, all right, well, we're going to let you go, or you can take this break and then go elsewhere after that and see how this goes, and give Sean McDermott his go at this. And if it doesn't go that great, maybe they bring Frazier back. I don't know, but I think that it's necessary for both Frazier and the team. Frazier's getting up there in age. A break isn't bad for people sometimes. And if he doesn't come back, good luck to him.
Well, yeah, I think going into the offseason or post-Bengals game, people talked about how they wanted to change, and this is more when I'm talking about people, I'm talking about like social media people, Twitter people, how they wanted to change on the defensive side of the ball, and they wanted the scheme to be changed, and they wanted potentially Leslie Frazier because they think he hit a peak. And yeah, when I woke up that morning when he was not a coach anymore, when he was no longer a Buffalo Bills coach, I was excited. I was not excited because I thought excited is probably not the right word, because I thought Frazier did a really good job. Because look, they've had number one ranked defenses. They've had multiple double-digit win seasons. They've had great defenses, great secondaries, somewhat postseason success, but they haven't got the job done against Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. And then in order to get to the Super Bowl, you're going to most likely have to do that unless somehow you get lucky and don't face either of those two. So I think it was a needed change, and I think people talked about it. But I would say I was a little surprised when there was no defensive coordinator officially announced. But by the time it happened, the Bills kind of, quote-unquote, missed out on the Vic Fangios of the world, those type of defensive coordinators, so they couldn't go get them, even if they wanted. Maybe they never wanted. Maybe they never wanted to go get that type of guy, and they wanted to keep Sean McDermott in. But it was definitely an interesting situation when it came to offseason. And I know a lot of Bills fans, maybe not rightfully so, but they were definitely excited with Frazier leaving. What's up, Rich?
Yeah, it's our guy right there. I'm glad he's back in the fold too. He helps out a lot. But
Yes.
yeah. So Frazier, again, I think more conservative in running a scheme that's not necessarily his own, even though it's similar. McDermott's scheme, more quarters defense, cover 6, cover 3 type deal, whereas Frazier's more of a cover 2 kind of guy, Tampa 2, if you will. And, that's a good defense. It's won Super Bowls for some teams, but, we got to see Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. We have to be more multiple. We have to be more aggressive. And like you said, we're going to have to see Joe Burrow and or Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs in order to go to the Super Bowl. Like if we're on one side of the bracket and we see Kansas City first and we beat them, the likeliness is we're still going to see Joe Burrow in the AFC Championship game, or vice versa.
Or you're going to see Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson or somebody. You're going to see most likely Trevor Lawrence. I don't know.
Yeah,
you're going to see a competent quarterback. You're not going to see like Eagles. Like their playoff run was very interesting because you got like Daniel Jones and the Giants, and then you had the Brock Purdy in the NFC Championship with the 49ers, and then he gets injured. You get Josh Johnson. Like the odds that happens. Yes. Yeah. The odds that happens is very unlikely. Would it be awesome? Because I don't care how the Bills get to the Super Bowl. I'm on board for that. But if you're going to play it, you're going to play Burrow. You're going to play Mahomes, Herbert. You're going to play legit elite quarterback, and your defense has to be aggressive. Your defense has to when I talk about Frazier's defense, I don't know if this was Frazier. I don't know if it was McDermott. But if you go back to that picture, that Bengals game, that play, I don't know, it was 3rd or 4th down. It was like 3rd or 5, 4th or 5, whatever. And they're playing off coverage. They're not playing press on a slippery, wet field where it's hard for also them to get traction, but also the receivers. And you give up that 5 yards and you give up that first down. Like that image just kind of sits in my brain thinking, I'm like, we needed a change. And I would hope that we don't see that type of defense in that situation. Obviously, there's time and place for that type of defense, but not in that type of situation. So that's what kind of rings the bell for me.
Oh, yeah. And I agree with you. Like if it's slippery out there, you don't want to give them an inch because they can just kind of jog to the first down at that point. While you're trying to sprint to get to them, they're jogging. No, thank you. Like they really have to be better about that. And I think that's where McDermott comes in as the more aggressive coach when it comes to the defensive side. And I'm not sure that he wanted to go get another defensive coordinator, right? No. He just had another defensive coordinator running his scheme, and it just didn't work as good. Unless Jim Schwartz was out there available, maybe you go get him, who runs a very aggressive wide 9-4-3 defense. But wouldn't have been a terrible idea, but we've seen that before, and it was great here. But we have different players now, so I'm glad that we get to see something different.
Like if they came with Vic Fangio, they wanted to hire Vic Fangio. He would probably come in, but he was like, I'm running. But he would probably want to run his style. I don't know his style of defense, but he would want to run his defense. And I'm assuming in Miami, they're not running Mike McDaniel's style of defense because that doesn't exist. They're running Vic Fangio's style of defense. So that entices him. If he comes to Buffalo, they're running Sean McDermott's style of defense. So it kind of like, do you really need a defensive coordinator? They signed it's Al Holcomb, the senior defensive assistant that he worked with in Carolina. Like that's a guy that's going to be I heard Ryan Talbot talking about it on one of his podcasts, how maybe Holcomb is going to be that bird's eye view type of defensive player coach for McDermott. So McDermott's on the field, and then you have a guy in the bird's eye view helping McDermott with defensive plays and with the calling or what to do in the next possession, what didn't work. So I think there's a lot of avenues for the Bills to work. But like you say, like if Vic Fangio or like a defensive coordinator to that level, former head coach comes in, he wants to run his defense. That's why he fits in Miami, because you have the offensive style head coach.
Yeah. My guy Chris here, my guy from the round table. What up? So he obviously watches my buddy Dan Mitchell at the round table. Appreciate you being here. I don't think I've seen your name here before, but welcome. Lance and a bunch of the Built-in Buffalo guys are in here. Go Bills. What up, gentlemen? Bend, not break. Run the ball. Yeah, those are a lot of good points. I think that the Bills not having a defensive coordinator is not that serious. It's not like the Patriots last year not having an offensive coordinator. Like their head coach was defensive. Then they had Matt Patricia, who's a defensive coordinator before, never an OC. And then you had Joe Judge, who's a special teams coordinator before, never an OC. Like you had nobody with the with the expertise to run an offense.
and a non-elite quarterback and a quarterback that's still developing.
Yeah, you have to get a quarterback like Mac Jones, somebody who can actually operate that scheme. We're not talking about that with the Bills. We're talking about Sean McDermott, who can say, all right, we're going to give you weapons on offense, right? We're going to get these fast guys. We're going to let you on offense. You're going to cook, Dorsey, right? We're going to give you this offense. Get it right. Don't make me step in. Just you do your thing. We were top 5 last year. Step it up. Protect our quarterback. We'll give you the offensive linemen. We'll give you the receivers that we can. I'm going to take the step over here, run over the defense, and take care of that. That is far less concerning to me than what the Patriots ran with last year. And for good reason. Sean McDermott was a great defensive coordinator, and that's why he's here.
Yeah, the Patriots situation was one, a horrible situation, and one kind of I've never seen in the NFL to my recent memory. I don't think there definitely has been teams that don't run with a true offensive coordinator. It has definitely had to have happened. I don't remember, but you're running Mac Jones out there, who I don't think is a future star in this NFL, but you're still developing. You still invested a first-round pick in him. So if you think he's a star and you think he can be the star, you should do everything you can to develop him. And then not having any sort of offensive play callers on that team. Bill Belichick, not an offensive guy. We've seen that. Joe Judge, like you said, special teams, and Matt Patricia, a defensive guy. Matt Patricia's a defensive coordinator. Like, it made no sense. So this is a totally different situation, I think. Absolutely. And you're not having trying to develop a quarterback, because that's not a thing on the defense. And you also have leaders on this defense. Von Miller, when he comes back, you have Jordan Poyer, you have Matt Milano, you have Micah Hyde, you have Trey White. You have elite players on this defense.
All pros
and leaders and guys that I would trust. I would trust Jordan Poyer to be the captain of the defense, or Micah Hyde, or Von Miller. You have guys that you trust, that have won games for you, that know your system, that know what you want. This is not going into a full rebuild with this defense. So it's not a bad situation. It could be a great situation for the Bills, because this is, like you said, Sean McDermott's an elite defensive coordinator. This is why he got the job. This is why he's the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. So why not let him use his best strength? I don't think this is a bad situation. I think if you read into it more, if you understand it more, if you listen to us, which is a good thing to do, I think it's a great situation for the Bills to be in.
I agree. And like Cameron Towle here says, 17 teams have their head coach calling plays in some fashion. Surprised it took McDermott this long to take over. I'm not sure if I'm surprised, but I definitely agree with that sentiment, is that, it's not crazy to have your head coach calling plays for you. Like, more than half the NFL's coaches do. So now we're adding one more to that pile. But we'll go ahead and go on to the units, so to speak, on the defense.
You see, we got a super chat.
Yeah, Lance. I posted that.
Yeah.
So Bills are the best, plain and simple, just like my guy Peter. My guy Peter is definitely one of the best, definitely one of my favorites.
Thank you.
What about the middle linebacker situation? We are going to get there. Don't worry.
It's a fun conversation.
Stick around and you will see. All right, so first thing we're going to cover is the defensive line, right? The defensive line looks like it's mostly set. If no changes are going to be made, then we're rolling with basically Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, Jordan Phillips, and Tim Settle in their defensive line, a defensive tackle. The edge is AJ Epinesa, it's Von Miller, it's Groot, it's Basham.
Who's the fifth?
The fifth, you never know. It could be like Kingsley Jonathan, or it could be one of those other guys. Who was the guy last year that played really well? I think it was number 59. Was that Kingsley Jonathan, or was that?
Yeah, I'm looking at the depth chart right now. Kingsley Jonathan's listed at number 59. So
yeah, so that he last year he actually looked really good coming off the edge.
Was it the Bears game? It was the Bears game.
I'm not sure. I don't remember which game it was, but I remember him, and he was all go, no breaks. He was like what freaking Salah and the Jets was talking about. We're going to be all gas, no breaks. Mm-hmm. That's how that kid played. I was actually impressed with him. I was upset that we let him go the following week. I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This guy showed me something, and he's gone. But, he's back, so cool.
Cool. Wait.
We got the Black Panther here.
Could that edge rusher be a drafty? Could that fit? Could it be an early day 3 pick, late day 2 pick?
Could be.
It could be.
Depends on how they go. They could trade back and get more picks. They could trade up from later on in the draft. They could trade a player and acquire multiple picks.
Yeah.
There's different ways they could do this. They could stand pat and draft one at 91 or at 130. So it just really depends.
Yeah.
But the Bills defense with Frazier has was bend but don't break during the regular season, but in the playoffs consistently broke. Yes, agreed.
Sad.
I'd take Jonathan over Lawson. I don't know about that, but Jonathan did rush the passer better than Lawson, so
I think Shaq Lawson always can come back.
yeah,
Like if the
he's
Bills
gonna be cheap.
could the Bills like think about like, you know what, if our guy that we like in round 4 in the edge rusher we don't get or something, for example, and let's not reach on a guy in round 4, then an edge rusher will bring back Shaq Lawson. But if they like a guy,
practice squad too.
yeah, there's if they like a guy in the draft, that's not going to be. I don't think they're going to use a day 1 pick or a day 2 pick, most likely, unless they trade back, like you said. If there's a guy they like, cheaper, fifth edge rusher, kind of maybe potentially develop, and yeah, that could be a legit option. KJ Henry comes to mind for me, the edge rusher from Clemson, because I think you can get him maybe probably round 3, probably round 4, and I think he was kind of overshadowed by some of the players, Miles Murphy and Brian Bresee. At Clemson, so that's a guy I would totally target.
Also, Simpson. You have a bunch of players on that defense that were solid, and Simpson's another guy who they might have been like, well, maybe he was this good because we had this guy.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of different things, but so the defensive line, I don't know, they could look at keeping just 4 defensive ends on the roster, going 5 defensive tackles. I mean, last year we had Settle, Jordan Phillips, Oliver, Daquan, and we had one other guy, didn't we?
Brandon Bryant?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think we kind of rotated guys off the practice squad into
Eli Anku played a little bit at the D tackle position.
Yeah. I think they need to invest in another one technique, honestly. I want another big fat bastard behind Daquan Jones.
We need Tim Settle to be more productive.
I don't know if he's capable. He's got the heart, but
I love Tim Settle. I think I agree. I know.
He's got the heart. It's just, heart is one thing, but you have to have some skill. If I got a guy who's got a good heart, but has all the skill he needs, give me that guy over the guy who's no skill and all heart.
Yeah. And I think Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver, like I know Ed Oliver's been on that trade rumor block. And when I mean trade rumor block, I mean the social media trade rumor block, because that's what Ed Oliver's been on. There's been no factual, and I don't think they're moving off Ed Oliver this year. Everything that Bean and McDermott have said, they like Ed Oliver. So I think Daquan and Ed Oliver going into this year, I think that's a really good combo at the D tackle position. And I think we missed Daquan in that Bengals game a lot. I think people I think people absolutely look. Does that change the game? Probably not, because we played absolutely what in that game.
I think,
but I do think we missed Daquan Jones because we got gashed up the middle. So I think him and Ed Oliver together, fully healthy, that's a really good tandem at the D tackle position. Jordan Phillips has to stay healthy, because when he's healthy, he's not great, but he's productive. He's productive enough that you're happy when he's in the game. So if he just needs to stay healthy, and it's a big year for Tim Settle. Try to get another contract, maybe not here in Buffalo, but somewhere else. It's a big year for Tim Settle.
Jordan Phillips is a guy who can rush the passer well, but he's not very good against the run.
No.
So, I think that's a guy here.
I like him.
Siaka Ika guy, Roy Collins. If you go ahead and put down what round he's, projected in, that'd be great.
Let me go find him. I'll go find him.
But Tim Settle, he can earn the contract elsewhere. He did get more playing time here in Buffalo than he has with the Commanders.
But
he's also got 4 or 5 years in the NFL, so that's a thing. He's got to show up now.
100%. And he's playing for another contract. I don't know if it's in Buffalo, but he's playing for another contract, another 2, maybe 3-year contract. And sometimes those guys are hungry, and shows their best ability. I found Roy Collins is talking about 6'3", 335.
Woo!
He is Baylor. He's projected 3rd round, according to NFLDraftBuzz.com. That's what I like to use. That's one of the websites I like to use. I think they do a very good job. So he's at
which website?
NFLDraftBuzz.com.
Okay.
That's what I like to use. NFL Draft Network is great too, CBS stuff, but this gives us so much more information. I think a lot of in-depth strengths, weaknesses, player comparisons, scouting report summary, where you like the high school position rank. So they rank him as the 13th best defensive lineman in this class.
Okay.
So round 3 projected. Obviously the draft changed. We don't know if it's a round 3, but that's definitely a guy that you could use. That was it 91 that a 3rd round pick? Is it 91 that you?
Yeah, it's a 3rd round pick. Yeah.
That's not out of the realm. That 3rd round pick being used on the D tackle, especially depending on what they do in the first 2 rounds. But They need another D tackle post 20 past this year.
Yeah.
Not like I would think they would try to sign sooner than later Daquan Jones to an extension, frees up some cap space for this year. I think it's someone you could lock in. I think besides that, there's probably not a lot of extension guys, depending on how much Ed Oliver wants. And it sounds like he's probably wants a little more than what the Bills want to spend. So taking a guy in the round 3 at the D tackle position is 100% in the playing cards. I think it's out of the playing cards in round 1, maybe in round 2, but round 3, that's a highly likely pick potentially for the Bills.
Yeah, I could see the Bills with the way they've done free agency. They can really go anything they really want, which I wouldn't be, shocked depending on who's there. But
in round 1,
in any round, honestly, like it's kind of I hate saying the draft's a crapshoot, but like if the guy that they want isn't there, they're not gonna be scared to pull the trigger on somebody else who's that high in their draft board, whether it's a need or not. Like everybody's high on Jack Campbell. If he doesn't make it to us, I can see the Bills saying, "All right, well, Bijan's there, let's go get him," or Cansey's there, let's go get him. There's a number of different guys that they could say, you know what, the guy we wanted is not there, but this guy's number 1 on our board left. Let's go get him.
This guy they have the Bills Mafia put up, Gervin Dexter. I am in love with 6'6", 310. So he probably needs to add a little more weight because 6'6", 310's a little slight for the size, I would say, for the D tackle position. I think.
But the Florida, right?
What Florida? Yeah, they have draft projection 4th round pick on Gervin Dexter. I'm on board.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Give a quick analysis of him real quick. I got to step away just a second.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, Gervin Dexter from Florida, D tackle. Like I said, draft projection 4th, position rank 25, D tackle, 124th overall. 6'6", 310. Some of the strengths. I said this multiple times. If you watch my show on Tuesdays, I like guys that make Bruce Feldman's freak list because that means they're a freak athlete, they're a freak in nature. And this is his synopsis, what he wrote about, what Bruce Feldman wrote about his freak list. This is a huge man. This is a quote. So this is a huge man who moves well at 6'5", 6'6", with 24% body fat. Dexter squats 655, benches 425. Unique body type with elite mixture of height, length, and muscle makeup. Strength coach Matt Hawk said he's strong enough to hold the point and quick enough to affect the quarterback, making him an every down quarterback nightmare. Lateral agility. What's up, Biz? Lateral agility, balance to cover 2 gaps, and also shows some good closing bursts when moving down the line in pursuit. As I was talking about, I like guys that
I didn't go far.
But I like guys that make Bruce Feldman's freak list. I like those guys because they're a freak in nature. And McDermott, they've been keen to like guys that have high RAS scores that are freak in natures. And this is a guy, he squats 655, benches 425. Strong enough to hold the point, quick enough to affect the quarterback. Every down guy. Like, I don't know, a 4th round grade on this guy. That's a good pick in round 4.
Yeah, I think so. What did you say his body fat was again?
24%.
That's not bad for a guy who's that big. That's a big dude. I mean,
6'6", 310.
Yeah, he's a defensive lineman in the NFL coming up soon. Wow.
And he won't have to play a lot year 1.
Yeah, he'll have guys in front of him that can really hold down the fort until. And then you also have guys like Jordan Phillips who you can release, at minimal cost. I wouldn't want to see him release Jordan Phillips. I like Jordan Phillips, especially on pass rushing downs. But
but Jordan Phillips doesn't cost that much, even if you don't play him and this guy beats him out in camp and you still want to keep Jordan Phillips. It's not like it's a $8 million cap hit or anything like crazy like that.
It's $3 million max.
It's under 2.
Is it under 2? I thought it was 3.
Oh, you're right. It's 3. It's 3.
His was 3. Under 2 was
Taylor Rapp and Taylor Rapp.
I forgot that Taylor Rapp took a contract that low.
And people on my Twitter mentions because I tweeted about Taylor Rapp being like some of the things from this press conference. I said he loved Buffalo. He went back to Buffalo. It's a great fit. And then someone said, quote tweeted me, and other people did, and they basically saying like, oh no, that's not true. Like it's like he just wants the money in Buffalo. Like kind of like transpired to that's basically him saying he wanted more money in Buffalo than other places. I was like, well, he got like under $2 million. So pretty sure he could have got a little more money somewhere else potentially. So
at a lower tax rate.
Yeah, a lower tax rate. Yeah, Jordan Poyer style right there with the lower tax rate.
His was 3. Under 2 was 3. 3 was 3. Under 2 was 3. 3 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 So the defensive line, it's basically set, but there's still a little bit of motion that can happen with the draft. And, we're probably doing a mock after this. So we'll see what kind of motion that is. But next one, linebackers. Now, this is the one everybody is talking about. And normally I would do this like last because it's the one with most to talk about. But, we can get this one out of the way and then kind of go through DBs. So I think DBs we're really definitely set at. But
yeah,
linebackers, we got Matt Milano, we have Tyrell Dodson, we have Balin Spector, we have Tyler Medikevich, Terrell Bernard. Linebackers, we have a bunch of guys, but we don't have that guy to fill the gap of Tremaine Edmonds, in my opinion.
We don't know.
Unless something about Balin Spector, because last preseason he looked excellent. Unless he's really that dude, there's nobody else to be that dude.
Yeah, I would be like, people have talked about that, and I'm starting to understand the Balin Spector talking. I'm starting to maybe quote unquote get on a little bit more board. I would be really shocked if the Bills go into the regular season or the summer with training camp without adding a linebacker in the draft.
In the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, maybe. It would shock me because Milano. We don't even need to talk about Matt Milano because he's good. He extended his contract. We got more years of Matt Milano. What's better than that? Middle linebacker scares me, right? You have Tyrell Dodson. You have Balin Spector. Terrell Bernard, quote unquote, fits Matt Milano's role more than a middle linebacker. Do they just say, you know what, bye middle linebacker position and go Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard? But that makes no sense. If you try to play scenarios out in your head, that makes no sense. I don't think they're going to roll Tyrell Dodson in. I like Tyrell Dodson as a backup. I think Balin Spector could be a solid backup. I don't know a lot about Balin Spector. He didn't play. I can give you his draft analysis. People can tell you, oh, he's this and this and this. We're still watching Clemson tape, and we're still watching a little bit of preseason tape. There's not a lot on Balin Spector. Do I think they like him? Yeah. Do I think they think he's a starter? Probably not. I would be shocked if the Bills do not go into the summer without adding a linebacker on day 1 or day 2. And it probably is day 2, maybe, just because you don't want to reach for a linebacker. But I still if you like Drew Sanders, who Izzy likes, Jack Campbell, who Lance likes, Trenton Simpson, who I like all 3 of those guys. I'm on board with all 3 of those guys. If you like your guy at 27, and people like Mel Kiper will tell you, oh, he's a 2nd round pick. If you like your guy and you think Drew Sanders can be a legit middle linebacker in the National Football League and can be productive, that's not reaching. That's a good pick. That's a good value pick because you filled a need and you got a potential stud if you think he's that good. But I would be shocked if they go into the summer without a legit middle linebacker via the draft.
So I actually like Drew Sanders and I like Jack Campbell more than I like Trenton Simpson. Yeah. Physical attributes wise, Trenton Simpson blows those guys both out the water. But he's not that true middle linebacker type. Again, for me, he's more of the Matt Milano role type guy.
Yeah.
Where he's sideline to sideline, tackling machine, but he's not the guy who should be sitting there calling your defense, in my opinion. He's just not that guy who's going to sit there, look at an offense and say, hey, this guy's cutting your way, Jordan, and Jordan should listen. That's not the way I see Trenton Simpson. But I do see that out of Jack Campbell, and I do see that out of Drew Sanders. There's some other guys later in the draft if they don't go there, but it's hard to put a late-round draft pick over a guy who's been on your team for a year, whether it's Terrell Bernard or Balin Spector. But if they go into camp and earn it, then you can't say anything about it, right? If they go with that guy at Tulane, I'm forgetting his name now.
Dorian Williams.
There you go, Dorian Williams. If they go him and he's or the guy from Oregon, Sewell.
No, I did a thing on him. I like Noah Sewell, but you can maybe get him in the 4th round potentially.
He's a thumper, yeah.
Do you take Noah Sewell in the 4th round to be your starting middle linebacker? Is that I don't know. I like Dorian Williams. I like him a lot. I like I said Noah Sewell, and I like what's his other name? The kid from Washington State, Dane Henley. Yep. He's not bad. People like Owen Papu from Auburn, but those guys, I think, are if they're gonna go in the draft, they're gonna be late day 2 picks, and I might be generous on the late day 2.
Yeah.
But they're day 3 guys probably. I don't know. I think the linebacker class, when I talk about the middle linebacker class, not like the edge rusher linebackers, not the Matt Milano types, it kind of falls off after.
There's 5 guys, yeah.
I think Simpson, I think Campbell, I think Drew Sanders, I think Noah Sewell, and then you can talk me into Dorian Williams and Dane Henley.
What about To'oto'o from Alabama?
I haven't done a lot of research. Does he fit the middle linebacker?
He's I think
I always
230.
struggle with figuring out like, do they fit because but his 40 time on this website is a 4.62.
Yeah,
Like that's slow. Like Jack Campbell is at a
469, I think.
yeah, and
So
then you have
faster than Jack Campbell.
yeah 4.65 is not fast, but Trenton Simpson, like you said, 4.43. Like that guy runs as fast as a wide receiver.
Yeah, he
His
runs.
tangibles, that's why I love him. His intangibles are awesome. 4.43.
Yeah, the same time as James Cook, I believe.
Yeah, like, and then what's his name? Drew Sanders at a 4.53, so he's faster than Jack Campbell. I think like Jack Campbell probably is the safest pick
I
out of
think so
those three.
too, because he's played more. He's got all the awards, the coaches' appreciation awards, captain of the team MVP. Like he's just been that guy. He's a stud, and honestly, I love looking at 40 times. Right, they do mean something, but
Yeah,
you know, track speed and game speed are different. Look at Gabe Davis. He ran a 4.53. Dude's catching 98-yard touchdown passes. Like it's a thing, but it's not really that big a thing, especially since these guys, not all of them are track stars.
well,
So
there's difference between running 40 yards straight and quickness off the line. Like I talked about, like that Gervin Dexter guy. Like he doesn't run a fast 40, but they said he's quick off the line. Like that's a guy you want. You don't need a guy like I don't need my D tackle running 40 yards straight.
also look at Jack Campbell's his 3-cone drill and his I figured the other one. His agility drills are through the roof, and he's training with Luke Kuechly, who knows this defense.
He screams Sean McDermott, Jack Campbell.
Yes.
Trenton Simpson screams more of like the Tremaine Edmonds, not the style of play, but like the intangibles.
Drew Sanders is more the size in comparison to Tremaine Evans. 6'5", 235.
Yeah, like I think Jack Campbell, like this draft projection, NFL Draft Plus, first round to a late round pick.
Yeah.
I would not be against Jack Campbell at 27. I know you go through all these mock draft simulators and you trade back, you gain an extra second round pick, you gain an extra whatever, and you go pick at 45, right? And you can still get Jack Campbell.
I wouldn't even go back that far for Jack Campbell.
But like, can you still get Jack Campbell? Who knows? We don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like there could be teams in the early half of the second round that need linebackers. Can the Bills afford to wait?
I don't know if they can afford to wait. No.
If you can land one of those three guys, if it's on day one or day two, I'm a happy camper. One of those three guys on day one. I know Trenton Simpson. I think Drew Sanders and Jack Campbell fit the bill more to what the Bills want. But I'm on board for all three, day one or day two. I think that's a fine pick.
Trent plays plays like Luke Kuechly. He's quick and gets to the spot so he does that. But Luke Kuechly was more than just a quick guy.
Yeah, I don't think Luke
Kuechly's
like intangibles like stood out to me. Like I think Luke Kuechly more of like maybe more like Jack Campbell type of player.
Yeah,
in my opinion, which makes it make sense to Sean McDermott.
Yeah, I agree. So linebackers, we both pretty much agree. Basically, round 1, round 2, it's a linebacker somewhere in there. You can't wait till round 3. It's got to be round 1, round 2.
Well, if you wait to round 3, you're not getting Campbell, Sanders, or Simpson.
Correct.
So if they think Dorian Williams is that guy, or they think Noah Sewell's that guy, then they wait to day 3. Not to day 3, to round 3. I don't think they do though. I think it's round 1 or round 2. Or Balin Spector starts a middle linebacker, and we lose our absolute freaking mind.
I mean, yeah, we would lose our damn minds.
Yeah, we would root for it. Hopefully, it works, but I think we would lose our mind.
Look, I hope all of our players on our team. I'm loyal to the logo, baby. I'm a Bills fan through and through. So, look, I don't care if he's a 7th round pick, if he's undrafted, whatever. Levi Wallace, I was rooting for him. I still root for him.
Yeah. I don't care. Look, I don't care where you came from. I don't care what round you were drafted in. If you play good for the Bills, that's all I care about. Because at the end of the day, I care about winning football games and eventually winning a Super Bowl.
It would be crazy, though, if we had a 5th rounder and a 7th rounder as our starting linebackers and they're good. That'd be crazy.
That's maybe it works. I don't know. It probably doesn't work. But
have to balance the need with what the draft can give. That's true. So, and generally speaking, you don't draft for need, but the Bills are in a unique position where they can afford to do that. And where they really can't afford to not do that.
I don't love that. Like I think you can draft for need if you're not reaching for that need. Like
that's what I'm saying. Is that like
there's nothing.
You're a team like the Bills where you're in position to where drafting for need isn't going to hurt you because
No, not at all.
You have everything else. You're fine everywhere else. Like we're fine with the defensive line. Cool. We're good there. We're fine with the defensive backs. Cool. We're good there. We're fine at quarterback. Obviously, we're fine at offensive line if they think
Fine in the secondary for the immediate future. Like,
yeah, like it's like, all right, well then we just need a middle linebacker. Like we need this more than we need anything else.
Yeah,
go get it. Yeah, we like Deion Henley, but he's more of the Milano type. He's 6'1", 225. Like it'd be like drafting Terrell Bernard again.
Right, yeah, so, I don't know. Like, do they use Taylor Rapp more as more of a third safety? Like, do they do that funky style of defense? Because Taylor Rapp prefers to play in the box. He's more of the Jordan Poyer type than he is the Micah Hyde type. So, like, does that work for the Bills? I don't know, but that's not going to be an every down situation. The Bills are not going to roll out Rapp, Hyde, and Poyer on every single down. I think they're going to want to use Rapp, but, like, I think we both come back to the conclusion, middle linebacker, round 1, round 2.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if say Micah Hyde goes down, God forbid.
Yeah, you have Taylor Rapp.
Taylor Rapp would take over the Poyer spot, and Poyer would take Micah Hyde's spot most likely because Hyde and Poyer are pretty interchangeable, right? But when it comes to the usual style of play, Rapp fits the usual Jordan Poyer style, even though Poyer can play the Hyde spot, and Hyde can play the Poyer spot. But Rapp can only play the Poyer spot.
Correct. I think he can play both, but he's way better at the Poyer spot.
Yeah, in the box, covering the flats.
Well, the Bills adding Taylor Rapp made sense because like you got another safety. You had Jordan Poyer had multiple injuries last year, and you had Micah Hyde who missed basically the entire year, and you also had your quote unquote third safety in Damar Hamlin, and he's still up in the air for the 2023 season. Taylor Rapp was a no-brainer. Signing. I saw some.
Point, yeah.
Oh my god, it was a no-brainer. Signing. Like I saw some guy on Twitter like quote to me or tweet. He's like, the Taylor Rapp makes no sense. Signing makes no sense, and I was like you couldn't be more completely wrong. Taylor Rapp makes 1,000% sense. You needed a third safety with Damar Hamlin's situation not up in there, with both your starting safeties injured, potentially with injuries. If you lose one of them for a game or two, you roll out Hyde and Rapp. You roll out Poyer and Rapp. It's still one of the best safety duos in the NFL.
Good, yeah.
It's okay.
Someone told me that we re-signed Poyer. Why the hell are we signing Rapp? What do you mean why? We just lost Shaquan Johnson, who sucks.
Yeah.
We have, Christian Benford is potentially looking to move over to safety. Okay, cool. Potentially. And then we have Damar Hamlin coming off that chest injury. We really don't know. So why not go get somebody who's a proven commodity in the NFL, who's played at a high level, won a Super Bowl on a Super Bowl caliber defense? Why not? At that price point, it makes all the sense in the world.
Well, you're not going to, and I love Damar Hamlin, and I hope he plays again, but you're not going to, the Bills in the business and the football aspect, they can't rely on that for 2023. It doesn't make football sense at all.
They get picked apart by the media. And I think we've already moved on to defensive back, so here we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we're sold on the middle linebacker needs to be drafted somewhere. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, defensive backfield.
Yeah, so, I think the safety spot is good, but I don't rule out drafting a safety.
No, not at all.
First 3-4 rounds.
I think I like a guy like a day 4. You could go there's a couple of safeties I like Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame's not a bad option. Yep. He was at Northwestern, and then now he's at with Notre Dame, and then maybe like Rashad Torrance or Trey Dean, both from Florida. Like those are not bad options. Shamari Connor from Virginia Tech, you can get in round. Yeah, you can get those guys in round 5, round 6. I don't think you need to go for a Brian Branch or Jermaine Robinson or JL Skinner because those guys most likely fit a day 2 or day 3 pick, probably not even day 3. And I think there's other needs, quote unquote. So there's a ton of safety, like Antonio Johnson. I would love Antonio Johnson, but he's going to go late round 1, round 2. Just doesn't make sense for the Bills. So you want Antonio Johnson?
Look, if he falls to us at freaking 59,
I get that.
You run that pick in. If he's there at 59, you run it in.
I do think Taylor Rapp might have taken them out of their day 1, day 2 safety class.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely day 1.
Yeah, 100% day 1. Maybe 3rd round they don't. Maybe 3rd round that's the only one I kind of see it. I don't think Antonio Johnson gets to 59, but like Lance has said a million times on my show, we don't know how the draft is going to pan out. I'm pretty sure Antonio Johnson's not getting to 59, but you never know.
Here's another thing, though. We could have bias towards the safety position because of what we went through this offseason. We don't know what other teams are thinking. We don't know what other team fans are thinking. Other teams might be like, we're good at safety. Deal with that. We're good. Like the Saints, they got Tyrann Mathieu and whoever he's playing with.
Yeah.
You know, the Ravens, they're pretty good at safety right now. They just drafted one last year. What's his name? From Notre Dame.
Who? What the heck is his name?
I'm forgetting his name too, but they just drafted him. God, you're gonna look him up. I know. So like,
this is gonna kill me.
Fan bases may just be like, we don't need a safety like that. There's gonna be some that do need a safety, but they might also need something else. And safety is not a position where teams press over that hard.
Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, unless they absolutely need one. Like the Patriots waited on Kyle Duggar. He could have been a first-round pick. He was a second-round pick, right?
Yeah.
Bills fans were sitting here like, get him in the first round. I'm like, why? We got Hyde and Poyer. Like,
yeah,
they're getting old. I'm like, all right, cool. And like, I bet you the Patriots now are thanking their heavenly father, whoever that may be for them, that they have Kyle Duggar because Devin McCourty just retired. So
yeah,
they might be in the league for a safety. Like
I think like Christopher Smith from Georgia. I did a Twitter post about him about a month or two ago. He didn't have a great combine, so that makes him a day 3 pick. I think a day 3 pick, round 4, round 5 safety is not out of the question because I'm going to put Damar Hamlin to the side right now because I do think he's playing. Eventually going to play Buffalo Bills football again. I don't know if it's 2023, and I don't know what his impact is going to be. You need a 4 safety. Could that be a Brandon Joseph? Could that be a Christopher Smith? And then you eventually develop them potentially into a starter or just a depth role because the 5th and 6th round pick, and you can live with the 5th and 6th round pick not being Matt Milano because that most teams 5th and 6th round picks do not turn into Taron Johnson or Matt Milano. Like that's just usually not, or even Dane Jackson.
Well, Taron was a 4th round pick.
Yes, Taron was a 4th round pick, but most players don't turn into that. So I think a safety 5th round, 4th round kind of is that sweet spot for the Bills because Brandon Joseph will be there. Christopher Smith will be there. You miss out on maybe a Sidney Brown or Antonio Johnson.
My favorite, but he's more of a Poyer. So if
you miss out on him if you don't take him in day 2.
Thing is, if you draft a Sidney Brown, Rapp is here temporarily because that's the same type of guy.
Yeah,
he fits that Poyer role. You'd be bringing Sidney Brown in to let Rapp walk next year, and then you'd want to draft another guy to replace the Hyde kind of role after that. Maybe next year because you have Poyer for 2 more years. So if Hyde leaves after this year because this is his contract year, you'd have Sidney Brown take over that Poyer spot and Poyer go over to the Hyde spot, and it gets all screwy from there. But I think that there's other guys too that could fall to us at 4 or 5, maybe 6th round. But man, I really like the 2 guys from Illinois, the Sidney Brown and Jartavius Martin. They literally screamed to me. Brown screams Poyer, and Martin screams Hyde. And I was on one of my shows, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I did a mock draft, and I was looking at players, and I was like, man, there's nobody here. Like, there's this safety from Illinois, and I just looked him up, and I was like, this screams freaking screams Micah Hyde. It's like, and I just drafted Sidney Brown, who screams Jordan Poyer. And they've been playing in college for like 3 years together. And that's chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you draft the successors together if you could, if they already have that camaraderie, that they already have that mesh. You don't have to worry about them meshing together. So I was like, wow, that was a no-brainer in that mock draft.
I'm gonna pull up a chat. This guy's right. Bills are good scouting secondary and late rounds. Like McDermott's very good at like Christian Benford potentially, Levi Wallace, Dane Jackson. I know Taron Johnson was a 4th round pick, but that's a day 3 pick.
Yeah.
So those are the type of guys you like.
Those guys.
Yeah, and you had Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer was kind of cast aside by the Cleveland Browns. Micah Hyde was kind of done with the Packers. So yeah, I think Jartavius Martin, dude flies 4.46 40 time. Like that's a speed guy right there. I think you can you can get Jartavius Martin in the 4th, 5th round.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Draft projection has him as a 4th round pick. Like this is not. You don't have to put a day 2 pick on a safety. I'm not against it in round 3. I'm against it in round 1 and round 2, unless Antonio Johnson's there. Because if Antonio Johnson's there, then you can let Micah Hyde walk after the year.
Yeah, in round 2, yeah.
Yes, 100%.
He fits the Hyde role.
Well, yeah, if you take Antonio Johnson in round 2.
Then you go Antonio Johnson, like your defense is set.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go that route. But I think round 3 might be not the sweet spot, but round 4 is a sweet spot for a safety, in my opinion. That's the peak where you could get Jartavius Martin, you can get a Shamari Connor, you can get a Trey Dean, Brandon Joseph, maybe a JL Skinner, but he's probably not going to get there. Somebody like those type of guys that are going to be, I think, productive potential safeties.
I doubt Bean would draft safeties in back-to-back rounds. So in my mock, I didn't have him back-to-back rounds. I had traded back from the first round to the second round, I believe it was. I drafted Jack Campbell at 33, I think it was.
That's not bad.
And then I took, in the third round, Sidney Brown. And then in the fifth round, at the end of the round, I took Jartavius Martin. So there were picks between there. But I don't know if I would say that Bean wouldn't take two safeties back-to-back because he's taken offensive linemen back-to-back. He's taken
defensive edge
corners back. Yeah, edge back-to-back. Russo and Basham back-to-back. Like he's taking the same position back-to-back.
Like safety would shock me because you have Poyer, Hyde, and Rapp. Like that, the Rapp signing kind of put me off to the safety position a little more. Like Damian Harris put me off to the running back position early in day one, and then day two, kind of. I think running back and safety are the same category. The sweet spot this year for if the Bills want to go running back or safety is day 3.
Yeah, I'd say round 3 to 6.
Yeah, I would probably give myself round 4 to whatever the end of the draft, but I can get aboard.
That's still day 3.
I would be shocked if the Bills went running back in round 3. I'd be more on board for a safety in round 3 than a running back. And me and Josh were going back and forth with the B on Twitter today with Josh McCarthy, Bills chat guy.
Yeah.
Friday night to Bill and Buffalo. We're going back with the B John versus a wide receiver in round 1. And
so if you're stuck there, right?
In round 1?
Nobody you want, and nobody you want is there, right? Jack Campbell's gone.
Drew
Sanders is gone.
At 27.
Let's just say, I mean, we're not the only ones who need linebackers.
That's true. So worst case scenario,
Jack Campbell, Drew Sanders are gone, right? You feel like you can get Trent Simpson or somebody else later in the draft at linebacker.
You get out.
Cyrus Torrance is gone. Steven Vila's gone.
You get out.
There's a big run on offensive linemen. I forget his first name. Cansey is gone. Pitt, defensive lineman.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. Yep.
He's gone. So nobody you really
get out
want or need is there, right? We're probably not going safety round 1 because you picked up Taylor Rapp. You look to trade back maybe, but no one's giving you anything you really want. And Bijan's still there. You have to make the move. I don't like it because I don't like being boxed. I don't like being boxed into a corner.
You know why? No.
Why no?
Because I think one of those 6 wide receivers that I have a first round grade on will be there at 27.
They're all undersized. I'm scared of that.
No, don't do this to me, Iz. Don't
they're
do
all
this.
Small. I was looking at him. I was like,
no, they're not. They're not all small.
Name the big one.
Quentin Johnson.
He is not the guy.
I don't think even.
He can't high point the ball, he doesn't high point the ball. A lot of body catching, doesn't separate well. I'm not for Quentin Johnson. He's my least favorite of those guys.
Look, if Jalen Hyatt,
if Addison gets there, I'll take him.
If you can get Smith-Njigba, if you can get Jalen Hyatt, Smith-Njigba was better in college than Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson. He was more feared than Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr., who's going to be the number 1 receiver off the board next year.
I don't know.
Jackson Smith-Njigba is a bona fide stud. He was hurt a lot of the year. If he's there at 27, you will hear me is from my apartment screaming. I think Hyatt's a stud. Jordan Addison's there. I don't think Quentin Johnson fits the Bills' need. I don't think that makes any sense. Zay Flowers is a stud. I love Josh Downs. People don't love him as much as I do.
I love Josh Downs, but I love him in the second round.
I know. Josh Downs have a first round grade on. I am a little in the alone. I'm alone in that. And I can see that. Minority. Thank you. Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, Jalen Hyatt, Jackson Smith-Njigba. Any of those 4 guys at 27, that's a great pick.
Yeah, I'm just saying though.
I know. When I go on Twitter and I tweet this, I still say Bijan's probably a top 5 talent in this draft.
He is,
but he makes it's so hard. I don't think he even gets to 27, so I don't think we have to worry about it.
I think he's a top 10 guy. I think the Eagles.
I hope he goes like 12. So we don't even have to have that freaking conversation. I don't want to have that conversation. I don't want to see it on Twitter. I don't want to do it in our Bill and Buffalo chat because I don't want that conversation.
Just
I
no.
hope someone reaches for him, and it's not a reach, but I think the running back position in the first round is a little bit of a reach, depending on what team you are. Like if the Eagles take him at 10 or whatever that second pick, whatever that first pick is, that's different. But if I don't know, whoever's picking 8 or 9, I don't remember in the draft, take him.
Bears or the
like that's a reach. The Bears have so many more needs. They don't need a freaking running back.
Yeah. Who's 9 was the Bears now because they traded with the Panthers. 10 is the Eagles. I forget who's 8 is the Lions or something like that.
But you get what I mean. Like when the Panthers took McCaffrey. Like McCaffrey's great, but like they had bigger needs.
Where's he at now?
San Fran.
But 27 is different than 6.
I know. Look, he's not gonna get to 27, but I would take Jalen Hyatt over him. I would take the need of Jalen Hyatt over the player of Bijan Robinson.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
I know you disagree with me.
There's levels to the game, and
I know you disagree with me. But
I would go here. No love for Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is an animal.
He's awesome at 27. The good thing is we're not gonna have to have this conversation because Bijan's not gone. He's not going to get to 27, and the Bills are going to move up for Bijan Robinson.
I can see the Cowboys taking him right before us.
They just paid Tony Pollard.
Yeah, he's come out for a broken leg, and they don't have Zeke. He's the only running back they got.
Also, the one thing that does scare me about Bijan Robinson is that he was a workhorse in college. Like that, he had a lot of wear and tear on him, and you know how running backs is.
He had a lot of snaps, but he didn't get hit a lot.
No. I agree, but I do think running backs have a shelf life. We've seen it.
You
can't deny running backs don't have a shelf life.
They get hurt and they get hit a lot. Like guys who don't get hit that much have a longer shelf life. Like Sean McCoy had 10 good years.
Yeah.
Right. Bijan Robinson is like what you get if Marshawn Lynch and LaShawn McCoy had a baby. That's what he is.
I love Bijan.
He can punish you, or he can shake you out of your shoes and point and laugh as he walks by. Like he can be like, almost, not really.
I don't think he fits the need.
I'm with you. I think he goes to the Eagles, honestly, and I would like that just to piss off my friend Jesse because he's a Cowboys fan.
And I hope I don't see on Twitter anymore the Jameer Gibbs conversation of 27 to the Bills because I'm gonna lose my.
Get the hell out of here! It's not Bijan. It's not a running back in the first round.
No,
there's one running back that's going in the first round this year, and it's Bijan Robinson. That's it.
I love when we get on tangents.
I would hate for him to get there to us. We pass on him, and then the Chiefs draft him.
Do you think the Chiefs make that mistake again?
That's not a mistake with Bijan. It was a mistake.
It's not a mistake. But do you think they go down that path again? Or are they just so? I think they're afraid of doing it again.
I don't think they are. They weren't afraid to let Tyreek Hill go and run with Juju as their number one.
That's true.
They ain't scared of nothing. The only thing they're scared of is maybe losing the playoffs in a close game, which they did to the Bengals last year. They almost did to the Bengals this year, and then they almost did to us the year before. It's a thing, but I don't think they're scared of picking a player and missing. Like Andy Reid is just gonna do his thing.
Yeah,
but I would hate for him to get to the Chiefs or the Bengals.
I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that.
I don't think so either. I think he's gone before we get there, but that's just my worst case scenario. All right, so let's go ahead and get this draft machine going.
It always goes back to the draft.
It does. We didn't even talk about corners, did we?
You said defensive back. What do you like? Do you need a corner?
No. Not the draft, but we have we're set. I think we've set
UDFA.
Maybe, yeah.
6th round pick if you want to take if you like a safety at 204. What's that pick?
Corner?
Yeah, if you want to go corner, the last pick of the draft.
205, I think it is.
Yeah, if you want to go there, I'm not against it. But you have Dane, you have Kaiir Elam. Kaiir Elam, I think is gonna be a stud this year. I'm expecting a huge year for him.
Oh no, he's gonna be big.
Trey White back healthy.
So you got Trey, Kaiir, and Taron as your starters, right? Basically.
Yes. All right.
Backing them up are Christian Benford
and Dane Jackson.
And Saran Neal.
Yeah, I don't think you need to go corner. I guess if you want to go corner round 6, sure. I'm not going to complain about it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't think corners. There's not much to talk about. We should at least mention it. So
we did. Yeah,
let's go ahead and get this draft machine going because it all like you said, It all comes back down to the draft.
Most important thing at this moment.
I always got it ready. So right now we're picking 27, 59, 91, 130, 137, and 205. Let's see what falls to us. Oh, the suspense is killing me. I'm hearing something.
You should have put it on fast, Iz.
My bad. Where's the speed?
Too late now. I think you would have to restart it.
I'll restart it. I don't care. We got a whole draft to do.
Restart it.
All right.
Restart
draft. There we go to Buffalo.
Go down.
Go down.
And then is he fast?
Boom.
Fast.
That's a lot to look at. All right, and start. Let's get this done. We got some people here who want to watch WrestleMania.
Not me, but
I know. All right, so the Raiders want to give us round 238, round 370, round 3 100, round 5 144. See, that's a haul.
See, the thing is, nobody's offering that.
I agree.
I would take 2. I don't want all that. We can't afford all that.
Yes,
we can't afford that.
Yes, we can. Those guys later in the draft aren't getting that much money.
You need the Bills want a 2 or 3. I want the 2. I want the 2 in the 2 3s. I don't need the 5th, 6th, and 6th.
We can trade those away then.
Just give me the 2 and. No, I don't want that.
Jags are offering us a 3rd and a kiss my. No. The Eagles are offering us the 30th overall pick.
That's not worth it. No.
And a 6th rounder.
No.
Kick rocks. The Giants are offering us a haul too.
The Giants are offering us every single pick they have.
Yeah, that's too much. Yeah. Nope.
And
we're going to go ahead and reject all of these because the first one, Peter says, is not realistic.
Well, is it? Are the Raiders going to give up every single pick they have for this first round pick?
Depends on who's there that they want.
At 27 is?
I don't know, man.
Who the hell's there, man?
We'll skip it. I'm not going to argue with you on this one. Let's just go ahead and skip it.
Do you agree with me?
I agree with you. That's an unrealistic trade. The most you'd get for 27 is maybe 2 seconds and a third.
Like they offered a 2nd and 2/3. I would sign up for that.
Bingo. You want to offer them that trade?
Yeah, let's offer them that trade.
Okay, so we're gonna trade with. It was the Raiders, right?
Raiders, correct? Yeah.
Okay, so we'll make that realistic so they can not give up their whole draft. We'll take 2, 3, 3 for pick 27. And they're not even willing to do it now.
How's that? What the frick?
All right, well, fuck you. Done. Who do you want? You want Will Levis?
Well, Bijan Robinson's there, but I'm not.
Hey, man, we're looking here.
Well, I'm looking at one guy, and because I don't see the full screen. Darnell Wright.
I like him. Offensive tackle, Tennessee, solid guy. Let's see. We also have Jahmyr Gibbs. No.
Yeah, no. Drew Sanders.
Sanders is there. Maisie Smith.
Not a bad option. Dawan Jones, not a bad option.
Yep. But we have this guy from Tennessee.
Darnell Wright's better than Dawan Jones.
Yeah. So I wouldn't consider somebody lower down there.
Trenton Simpson, Jalen Hyatt's there. I'm not against that at 27.
Jack Campbell's still on the board.
Yeah, look, I'm on board for the Darnell Wright, but this is your show. You do what you want, my man.
No. We're a team at this point. So Darnell Wright, you like?
That's what I would personally do. What would you do?
I don't disagree with it. I just think that the Bills are going to give Spencer Brown another chance because of the back injury.
Yeah, I know.
But Beans always, competition is a thing. And even though they like Spencer Brown, he's a 3rd round pick.
It's a hard pass up for Darnell Wright at 27. That's a hard pass.
Let me see. What do the fans think? What do the fans think? Are they saying anything?
No,
they're not.
Bijan won't be there
for us. I know, but still, if he's there, I'm taking him. But I'm not taking him right now because
Smith, that D tackle, Mozzie Smith, not a bad option. I don't know if you want to put a 1st round pick on a D tackle.
What's his size? Is he like an Oliver size, or is he a 1 tech?
Let me Google him.
Check him out real quick. Mozzie Smith.
6'3", 323.
So he's a 1 tech most likely.
Yeah.
Okay. He's an option. Darnell Wright or Mozzie Smith? Darnell Wright or Mozzie Smith? Jeez Louise.
Darnell Wright.
All right, you choose. Mozzie Smith or Darnell Wright?
Darnell Wright. Like that. It is. Guess what? They have him in right now for a top 30 draft visit.
Fair.
So they're clearly interested in Darnell Wright. And being said, when he was at senior camp, it's the Senior Bowl, he was fixated on the tackles. Just saying. Okay. I'm not saying they're going right tackle. Oh, my.
Right, so linebackers.
Oh,
they went. Trenton Simpson. There it is.
That's a draft right there. That's a draft.
Shoot, man. That was. I thought we might lose all three of them. I saw Campbell come through. I was like, shit.
Yeah, that scares me. It does scare me if you go not round one linebacker. We're going to be waiting on round two, sitting there, be like.
So we have a trade proposal here. No. We're at 91. Sidney Brown's on the board. We also
want the extra
a 3 and a 5. I'm asking you, if it's me and I'm the Bills in actuality, I would take a 5th and a 6th round next year to move back 12 spots.
100%. 100%.
But if there's a guy on the board that you are willing to trade that same amount for, like a Sidney Brown, who's the 7th overall prospect, and you're 91, would you make?
I don't know. I don't know if I want Sidney Brown. Like, you know who's a good player? That Gervin Dexter. Like, that's not a bad round 3 pick.
Ooh, and he's the big guy, right?
Yeah, he's a guy from Florida, 6'6", 310.
Ooh, that's tempting.
Will he be gone by 103? Probably.
Yeah, probably. Him and Sidney Brown will both be gone.
Yeah,
by then.
If you want Sidney Brown, you want Gervin Dexter.
Question is, who else is still on the board?
Let's check it out. Roy Collins wants to know if his boy Siaki Akia. I have no idea. If I'm Baylor's on the board, he's a D tackle. You go to D line and see if he's still on the board.
DL, boom. Gervin Dexter.
Let's see, go down.
Kobe Wooden, Mike Morris, Moro Ojomo, Kobe Turner, Jalen Redmond. Yeah, I think he's gone, buddy.
Yeah, he might be gone. Sorry, Roy Collins. Gervin. What are the wide receiver positions? What do we see wide receiver positions?
Wide receivers. So we got Tyler Scott from Cincinnati.
Cedric Tillman is.
I like Cedric Tillman a lot.
Actually. Yeah, that's a tough pass. That's a tough. You already got Simpson. You already got your tackle. You already got your linebacker.
At this point, it's luxury.
It's another wide receiver and a potentially replacement of Gabe Davis. I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
We also have interior offensive lineman here in Luke Whippler from Ohio State.
Not a bad option. He also could play the center position. They want to go edge Andre Carter from Army.
Yeah. Yep, there he is right there. I see him. Okay.
Yeah. Marvin Mims, the receiver. Joseph asked, and what about linebacker? We went Trenton Simpson in round 2. Yep. So we got our linebacker.
Yeah, we're good there.
We got it.
So for me, it would be either a Luke Whippler, a Cedric Tillman, or Andre Carter.
Yeah, it would be one of those.
One of those 3 is the guys for me.
Maybe Gervin Dexter.
Huh?
Gervin Dexter.
I like Dexter, but I think our defensive line is more set than our wide
receiver. I think
receiver.
they can wait until round 4 or 5 to go D tackle. I would go Cedric Tillman or Luke Whippler. That's my call.
Also, Joe Tippmann's on the board too from Wisconsin.
Not a bad option either. Jeez.
He's way up there ranking wise.
Best player available.
Does he have center flex?
I don't know. Joe,
or is he a center who plays
23 draft? What is he? Interior lineman?
Yep.
Let's see. Give me a second. Offensive lineman. Come on, Google. Oh my God. This is is.
I'll take your time, man. We're good. I'm not in a rush. WrestleMania can wait for someone else.
Offensive guard. Let's see.
Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go.
What's up, man? How we doing? I missed him he used to be on my shows all the time. What's up, man? What happened? Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Come on, man. Come back in.
He might be here because you're here. He might have saw your tweet and was like, I haven't seen him in a while. I work nights now, and it's Sunday, so.
You talked about who'd you mention?
Joe Tippmann.
Yeah, he can play center position.
So he's center and guard flex. And Mitch Morse is likely got one more year with us. You bring
Yeah.
the guy.
That's the move.
That's the move, Tippmann.
I still think you can get a good weapon at 130.
I think so too. I'm actually, and the guys who watch my show know I love Andre Yusovas
Yes, you do.
from Princeton.
But Cedric Tillman would be a hard pass up here for me.
Yes,
I would put
would.
that.
But there's still a few wide receivers to buffer that.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
All right, so let's go. Joe Tippmann. Come on, Cedric. Damn it, he's gone.
Yeah, he was gonna go. We passed him.
Martin's gone too.
Nope. I see a guy like.
Hang on. So we'll move back 5 spots and get 2 more picks.
What else? What are the trades? There's 5 trade offers.
What the hell? Move back to 131 and get a 5th. That's not bad. Move back 1 spot.
Yeah. Not a bad option
And
at all.
then you have move back 30 spots. Nope.
8 spots for a 7th. No.
Yeah, I'd rather do the one with the Bengals than that.
Nope. I like the Bengals one.
This would be okay. So want to take it?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay.
Go to receivers. Jaden Reed is a stud. Or Hutchinson. Either Reed or Hutchinson. Reed's smaller. Reed's 6 feet. Hutchinson's a big body receiver.
What's their speed like though?
Give me a second.
You look up Reed. I'll look up Hutchinson.
Okay.
Xavier Hutchinson.
I like Reed a lot. I like both. People Hutchinson's 6'2", FYI. Reed is 6. Reed's 4.45.
4.45.
More of a possession target than a field stretcher.
Okay, Xavier Hutchinson is 6'2", 203. So yeah, 4.53 speed.
Do you want more of the Stephon Diggs prototypical receiver? I'm not saying he's Stephon Diggs, but the more that style receiving, or do you want more of Gabe Davis style?
Diggs.
So then it's Jaden Reed.
All right, we'll go Jaden Reed. Boom. There we go.
A plus.
Let's go, baby. All right, so they're offering us you can kiss my.
Yep.
Never mind.
We're picking 6 more picks later. Oh, hello.
Yeah. That's the beauty of that trade, man. You had pick right behind it, so even if you traded back a little further, you still have a pick nearby.
Yeah. What about the D tackle market? What are we looking for the D tackle market?
D line, let's go. Mike Morris, Michigan.
Morris.
I do like. Moro Ojomo, I like him too. I think he's smaller though.
Mike Morris is not a bad option. I want to see Mike Morris's size.
Well, you go ahead and look him up. I'm looking up Ojomo. Ojomo's more of an Ed Oliver type.
Where's Mike Morris? Do they not list him as a D tackle?
So he might be one of those 3-4 ends.
Mozzie Smith. What does it say? He's a Michigan player, Mike Morris, right? Am I just losing my mind?
Football player Mike Morris. I found him. He's 6'6". That boy is big.
Yeah, Mike Morris 6 foot. Yeah, they list him as 6'5".
275.
Yeah, they just list him as 6'5", 275.
God.
No, thank you.
Yeah, he's too small.
No, thank you, Mike Morris.
And Moro Ojomo was 292 at 6 foot.
No, we need a 300-pound plus big boy.
Yeah, we need a big fat bastard who eats a lot of steak.
Yes, and chicken.
Jalen Ramsden's there, but that's a reach at that point.
I think we could wait on a D tackle.
All right, so back to all. We got running back Zach Evans here. We got a bunch of running backs here.
Double different receiver.
Kendrick Miller, Nick Herbig. You could double dip at linebacker. Wisconsin's known for those.
100%.
Xavier Hutchinson's still on the board.
Yeah.
But I think we're good
edge.
there. Yep. Ooh, Isaiah McGuire.
Luke Shoemaker, if you want to go tight end. I
do like that. Yeah.
I like Luke Shoemaker.
I'm pulling trigger.
Before you go Luke Shoemaker, but if we didn't go Joe Tippmann, I can't say his name, but the interior lineman from Michigan, he can also flex to center.
Oh, you're talking about Olusegun Oluwatimi?
Yeah, him. I like him a lot. He's like a round 4 guy that could flex to guard and center. So if we didn't go Joe, the Wisconsin interior lineman that could also do that, I would have went him here. But
if we didn't draft Tippmann, I'd be with you 100% on that, and I would take him here. But we have now gotten.
Yes, we're good. We don't need to draft him.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I think he's a guy for Bills fans to look out in round 4. That's
Yeah, if it doesn't go the way we're drafting right now, absolutely positively.
Yes, just putting that out there.
100%. So Luke Shoemaker, pulling trigger. Bow.
Pull the trigger. A+, 3 straight A pluses.
Let's go. No, you're the Patriots. I hate you.
No.
The Texans.
I don't need 2-6 in them. 2-7. Nah, no.
Yeah.
They all stunk.
So
KJ Henry.
Ooh, that's hard to pass up, bro.
That is impossible to pass.
Dude, you can't. No, I'm not passing that up. We drafted him. Say yes, and it's it. Boom.
Yeah, KJ Henry, 100%.
Bro, he's still there?
I would kick KJ Henry could be a 3rd-round pick.
He could be, but some of these guys that have that
but he was behind.
He needs a lineman, and they draft a lineman who should be a 4th-round pick. They draft in the 2nd round because there was a big-ass run on him.
But he was also behind Miles Murphy and Brian Breesy, who are probably going to be 1st-round picks.
Yeah.
So he was a little slept on. KJ Henry's a guy. He's a dog. A+ again, 4 straight A+. I love this draft.
Oh, this is good right here. All right, so top of the draft.
Punter.
Edge DJ Johnson from Oregon. John Gaines, the interior offensive lineman from UCLA.
What does the safety market look like is?
Trey Dean III from
That's
Florida.
the guy I was talking about earlier, and that's not a horrible option at 205.
I like him.
I'm obsessed with this draft, dude.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like, this is a great draft class.
You mean like the
no, what we did. What we did. What we did.
I was like, you talking about like this year's draft coming up in April, or are you talking about? Or it's actually already.
I always love the draft, but this just our draft we're doing right now.
This is legit right here.
Great way to end the show.
All right. I also like Jalen Graham from Purdue. I like this tape.
Safety. I haven't heard a lot about him, but I trust your judgment.
I like this tape, but I don't know if I would draft him.
I think
he'll be available. I think he'll be available. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if we go back to all picks, we have
double dip on linebacker.
Could do that.
But you have Terrell Bernard and you have Bayless.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you need double dip.
And then you also have Terrell Bernard, Bayless Spector, and Tyrell Dodson.
Yeah, I don't think if you already want Trenton Simpson, I don't think you need double dip.
So, what's the receiver, linebacker, punter? There's a punter on the board.
Yeah, they were good on that one. We have Sam Martin. So,
running back. Let's see. Last pick of the draft. Can't hurt drafting a running back.
No. What are the top running backs?
Xavier Valade from Arizona State.
You can keep going up a little. There's more. There's more room. You got more room.
Oh shoot. Okay. Muhammad Ibrahim.
He's on the board. Oh, okay, take him. I didn't even see him. Take him. Take him.
Hang on. I think I was down there for a whole lot of stuff. Hang on. Let me go back to all. Did you said safety before, right? Or was it?
Yeah, safety.
Safety.
No, you were good. You were good on
safety. There. I would think I was off on some other position. Linebacker. D. Winters is on the board.
Ooh.
Freaking.
People like D. Winters. People like D. Winters a lot.
I do like D. Winters. Yeah. If he's there in the 6th, then sure. But with Muhammad Ibrahim on the board, this is the perfect spot to draft a running back.
Perfect spot.
All right, let's go with him.
A+. Look at those. Look at this draft.
Dude, and he was good. He was legit good in college.
Yeah, he got injured. That's what kind of hurt him.
He got injured against Syracuse, right, in the final?
No, I think he also got injured junior year.
Oh, okay.
Gets Ohio State.
Pick, so no risk, no reward.
Oh my God, no! I'm on board for this. KJ Henry, Jaden Reed. Let's save this?
Save that mother. All right, and we'll share it on Twitter because I can and I will.
Let's go, Wiz.
And what is your Twitter handle again?
DiBiase Peter. It's on the screen, is.
I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at Twitter now.
I'm joking, is. I'm joking.
Oh, my bad.
I'm busting your chops.
Busting the chops.
That's a good draft. Like, I didn't break it down here. Like Jaden Reed, great option. I think Stephon Diggs, model type. You have Darnell Wright, starting immediate right tackle. Trenton Simpson, your starting middle linebacker, most likely. Fit the scheme's a little different besides Drew Sanders and Jack Campbell. And then you have, obviously, who's the third round pick?
Yeah.
Who the heck was that third round pick?
The third round pick? Let me go back. So it went to Twitter. Go back. There we go. I don't think it. There it is. Okay, hang on.
You didn't tweet it the first time.
Yeah, for some reason it's some error because I had to log into Twitter. Some BS.
I don't know.
I'll delete that tweet.
You tagged me. DBSCP did this mock on the Redzone Report tonight. Yeah, we did. We did the mock.
DiBiase. Here we go. And I did this mock on the Redzone Report.
Sure.
But not Mickey Vicky.
Who the heck was our third round pick?
It was. I'll just go back. Boom.
Joe Tippmann. Thank you. I'm on board for that.
There you go. There you can see all the picks now. Darnell Wright, Trenton Simpson, Joe Tippmann, Jaden Reed, Luke Schoonmaker. I think it's Schoonmaker, actually. I was in the Army with a guy with that same last name, and we used to call him Schoon.
Really?
Yep. And then KJ Henry and Muhammad Ibrahim. That is a freaking draft right there.
It's a great draft.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we added one additional pick to the draft. Outstanding.
Nothing better is.
Nothing better indeed. Oh, thank you, sir, for coming on my show tonight. I appreciate that.
Anytime, man. Anytime. I always enjoy it. And yeah, I appreciate it. I always like enjoying your show. You do some great content. Everybody at Bill and Buffalo does great content. But no, I appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure.
It was a pleasure doing business with you too tonight, man. I appreciate that. That draft was outstanding. And I think that highlighting that middle linebacker, which is the obvious need for the Bills, should be a target within the first 2 to 3 rounds, is essential to the success of the Bills going forward.
Yeah. 100%. Not even 2023, but future.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. See you next week.